Preschool education, basically. Reason being that they should be able to read and write. Education actually goes beyond just schooling. When we left school, we kept hearing things like educated illiterate. And I went back, I was like, how can somebody be educated and be an illiterate? And I realized that there's a difference between being educated and being schooled. You could be a schooled illiterate. Somebody who went through the school and allowed the school to go through them would have been refined, and at the end of the day, it becomes educated. It becomes all-round sound. When you're educated, you actually know what to wear, when to wear, and how to wear. That's what education does for you. And we're talking about vocational skills. In fact, the importance of vocational skills cannot be overemphasized. Now, what are vocational skills? Vocational skills, they are practical skills that help an individual become proficient in a trade, profession, or any career. That's what vocational skills are. For instance, you all know me as the bakery manager, that I'm a baker. I didn't come to Novena as a baker. I came in as a consultant, a cafeteria consultant. Actually, I'm a fast food consultant. When it comes about fast food, from the A to Z, we can structure it for you, put it together for you. And I have studied business administration and management at 2 levels. I have gone to Nigerian Institute of Management and I'm chartered, but I've kept those things aside. Now, what does this education that you need, the basic one I'm talking about, what role does it play when it comes to vocational skills? You'll be able to write your proposals. Without education, there's somebody around that is very popular, Portable. I don't think he got it. Because there are times they keep shouting, they don't rip me, they don't rip me. They give you documents to sign, you can't even read through because you do not know what is written there. Somebody will read and interpret for you. That's why I'm begging parents. Even if you will not give your children university education, give them basic education up to secondary level at all costs. Please, it's very important. Without education, you may not be able to function properly in the next phase of life. Electric cars are coming. They're already here actually. They're not much in Nigeria because of electricity. Now, if we talk about this vocational course, you may be looking at it like, well, I'm going to do all these dirty jobs. There's a way you package yourself. There's the way you package yourself. We have the Novena School Bakery and we have other bakeries. You all know the difference. You don't need to be told. And those of you who are going to school half-half, like the way I went, you go to the Polytechnic, you have a time to do 1 year IT. When you are posted for IT, pay attention. No matter how poor you are, pay what? Attention. How did I get to where I am? After I finished my diploma, I was the best graduating student at the faculty at that time. I didn't want to just go back home, so I got a job. I got a job at iCinema. It was then owned by the Chief of Staff, Governor Igwete. No, the FCT minister now. When we were there, I was put as an usher. But as we were there, I was paying attention to every other department. We have the concessions where they sell the popcorn and drinks. We have the box office where they sell the tickets. Then we got general training. Do you know after that time, I think he became a governor and he shut down the place. I said I won't go back home. And I came back to Delta from Port Harcourt and I was looking for a job. And I got a job in an eatery. During the interview, I applied as a cashier. But after the interview, they said, no, you can't be a cashier. You were too good to be a cashier. We'll make you a production manager and a supervisor. Then I had just a diploma. So those people who had degrees and second degrees, they were not angry. How you put this small boy over us? What was I doing? I was paying attention to detail. That was what got me there. Now, while I was in the eatery, I noticed that there were a set of systems. Everything was organized. People producing, people formulating the recipes, and everything. So what did I do? I looked for a way to get into the production floor where they formulate the recipes. And I got the recipe. Do you know that recipe? When I went back to school, it paid my rent and my school fees. It did. I sold it to someone who needed it, and it put food on my table. Now, if you look at your environment, you should be able to look for a solution to one thing. When I did a second degree in business management, they said our first assignment was to write a term paper on all graduates are managers, but not all managers are graduates. If you look at that topic, you'll be able to understand. Some of our mothers who sell in the market, they're not graduates, but they're managers. Now it is expected that if you go to school, you should be a manager. Strive to be self-employed and also strive to be an employer so that we can reduce this unemployment rate to the barest minimum. If you look at the artisans in this town, I'm almost tempted to call names, but I won't call names. Some of them, those of you waiting for white-collar jobs, some of them, they are take-home, not be your mates. They are take-home. We all know them in the town. Even within this town, there is somebody who I think he teaches, and he got himself into the food business. Some of you will be saying he did one or two things and made money. I used to laugh at you people. There is a transporter in this town that you are saying he did one or two things to get money. No. If we analyze what these people get on a daily, multiply by 10 days, multiply by 20 days and 10 months, you will be wondering, these people, then they spend their money. Just imagine you are into a vocation. Let's say you do just small chops, pop, samosa and spring roll and probably cake, and you make an average of 2,000 naira net daily. Do you know in 10 days you have 20,000? Do you know if you function for 20 days in a month, you have 40K? That 40K times 10 months is 400,000 resting somewhere. That's what vocational skills do for you. Whereas the current personal photographer of Obi Cubana, we all started at the cinema, Leonard Obiora. He came in and he was just doing in the club, he was just snapping pictures, begging people to print them. I was looking at him. He was already a graduate too. Then, after a while, I realized that the guy disappeared. I didn't see him again. The next time I saw him, he was on Facebook. He was on the same private jet with Obi Cubana. What took him there is vocational skill. Leonardo Obiora. He drives a Jaguar supercar today. He didn't need to go and do anything else. Just photography. You were all here when we did Mama Owago's burial. If you tell you how much we paid the photographer that covered that event, you won't believe. That's something you'll be like, I'll be honorary passport in this snap. There's a lot of money. In fact, you want to have a proper photography coverage. The minimum, if the person knows you well, is 300,000. That's the least. That's a vocational skill. Now, let's look at what I do, for instance. I do bread. If you are able to set up a bakery, for instance, and you know what you can do to manage it properly, and at the end of the day, you are doing, let's say, just two bags per day. In 10 months, you would have known where you are. See, I want to beg you people too. Those of you already in school, and you are studying a course that you were told you can work anywhere. You have been scammed though. The moment you are told you can work anywhere, you're on the wrong path. Don't continue putting your resources after that program. Go back and re-strategize. The only way we can reduce unemployment is through skill acquisition, vocational skills. India is in Asia. They used to be the world headquarters of poverty. It's there on Google. Today, Nigeria has overtaken them. Nigeria is the world headquarters of poverty. If you go to China, almost every apartment is a factory. Every apartment in China is a factory. They succeeded through vocational education. And you'll be wondering, after I don't go to finish, I won't go to learn work. You should be able to start during your holidays, your long holidays. Get yourself into a skill. Pay attention to detail. You know your main casual, right? Just to sew a native up and down, charging 40,000. Just up and down. 40K. His one is even less compared to Vodi. Vodi is an Ugeli boy who's in Abuja. He collects 120,000 naira. You see senators trooping to him to make just clothes. Then just imagine if you are able to learn and you are able to improve your skills. And there are some of these courses you have studied. They are already outdated. And you are still waiting for a miracle to get a placement. You won't get it. Except, like now, this night we're all going to be in church shouting, I receive an amen. If you don't re-strategize in 2024, you remain on that spot. And let me just chip in something. If you are going to school, allow the school to go through you. Please. Please. For instance, if you come to our gate here at Novena, they tell you by 9 p.m., nobody should go in or come out. The school is trying to train you on time consciousness. But no, you don't want to listen to the CSO. You are doing yourself. I hope you know the CSO is a retired DPO. He has lived his life. He's just enjoying his retirement. He's just doing extracurricular. It is you they are training. And when you also get to school and you come back, we should be able to differentiate somebody who is educated from the one who could not get education. Why? When you get to school, allow the system to go through. Participate. Dot your I's and cross your T's. Do self-work, your own self. Because those of you doing diploma, when you want to do direct entry or HND, they're going to be looking at your CGPA. I don't know why anybody will come out from school with less than upper. What did you go and do there? Why are you having less than 3.0? Put all your efforts into it as if that was your last moment on it. So that when you come out, you can be able to compete with others. For those of us who are not privileged to be born with silver spoon, we carved our own Tony Gary, we can't spray and silver. You understand? You may have people richer than you, but don't allow them to beat you in the academics. Don't allow them to beat you. And if you are able to go to school, learn a skill, the advantage is more. When you want to interact with your clients, they go tap each other. You hear the way the guy they coordinated. That's what education does for you. That's what it does for you. And if you were not privileged to go to school and you're already earning a living, don't allow your children to do your part. Send them to school. Like in the sciences, there are courses you will do. It will be so difficult for you to get a placement out there, but it will be easy for you to set up. For instance, if you do pharmacy in school, what does it cost to get a license and start doing your medical trade? There's money there. If you do med lab science, MLS, and you are actually a member of the union, you set up your laboratory, only PT. PT will give you money, 1,000 PT. You know, you get money. So you don't just wake up and study courses that are no longer relevant. You are doing aeronautic engineering for where? This country. When Nigeria Air is not even yet here, you don't do that. Don't waste your resources. Don't waste your resources pursuing academic careers that are not actually paying. The Igbo apprenticeship program, they said it gives $4 billion every year in Alaba market. $4 billion. If you multiply that to the rate today, you know what that is. An average Igbo guy that my friend, I schooled in the East too after I left Port Harcourt. They finish the school, they keep it outside, they go and do boy. And there is a hard currency right now that is so difficult to be seen amongst us. Integrity, honesty, truthfulness. It's so rare that if only one person have integrity amongst you, you'll be thinking he's using juju on the bus. He's not using juju. If they give us something whole, the thing they complete. When money is involved, humans always fail humanity. You yourself, as students growing, try and distinguish yourself. No matter how much is involved, do not turn to a bad person. I've heard stories, I've heard stories of people who did deals, even around here, and they carted away with the money because they were not trustworthy, and people came to look for them, and actually, they just wipe them off the surface of the earth. That's what integrity could do. If you don't have it, it could cost your life. And please, for the guys, so I don't have to bore you, for the guys, I will advise you, for the young guys, there's a trend out there. I used to laugh when I hear about it. You pick money, right? There's no way on earth you pick money and you can sustain it. You can't sustain it. You make money, you don't pick money. And when you pick your money, if you have a skill, go and invest in that skill. Go and invest in that skill. Don't go and buy a GLC of 43 million. It can crash on your way out there and it's gone. I have friends who became very wealthy at the time, spending hundreds of millions in clothes. Today, they used to call me, how about I get 20K? I said, not there. Because when I was telling you to think. Now, having visited that topic 3 times, you have something in your head. So by the time you flip through before the exam, what is A? It's not difficult to make an A. That's the pattern. So when you go to a topic up to 3 times before the exams, you would have been able to get something. And by so doing, it will be easy for you to assimilate. Thank you very much and God bless you.
Thank you very much, guest lecturer. Hello, National Association of all my students. See.